Hello all, this is Damini, co-founder of VMake Scholars, and I welcome you to the 29th episode of our web series Loanflix Season 2. For those of you who are new to my channel, let me tell you, Loanflix is a web series which covers each and every detail of an education loan, right from the eligibility to the process, disbursement, repayment, everything. And Loanflix is an initiative of VMake Scholars. VMake Scholars is an organization which is funded and supported by the Ministry of IT, Government of India, and its sole purpose is to help students like you get an education loan for your higher education in India and abroad. So all the services of VMake Scholars are completely free of cost. Now, if you've directly landed on this video and haven't watched season 1, then I would encourage you to watch that first, because in season 1 we covered like basic level topics, but in season 2 we are talking a little more advanced. So if your basics are not clear, you may not understand advanced level topics. So do watch season 1. The link to the same is given above. Coming to today's topic, whenever students are taking the first loan of their life, that is their education loan for higher studies, they always have this question on top of their mind. Is it worth taking an education loan? And will I regret this decision later? Many of you don't know what this journey with a loan tag to you is going to look like. But I have seen students on this entire journey, right from taking the loan till they're repaying it off. So I know what all they regretted and what all were the stages when they regretted it. So I can share some insights on that. So let's dig deep into this topic. But before that, if you are liking our videos and appreciate the whole idea of Loanflix, then please click on like button and subscribe to our channel by hitting that bell icon. The first thing you need to know before I go further into this topic is that one should get into debt only for creating revenue generation activities. And education loan is a debt which you'll eventually have to repay back. So the first thing to analyze here is that whether taking this education loan is going to improve your income generation by having a better role or a better salary package, etc. And this is absolutely true when it comes to abroad education or a higher education in India like an MBA. So for example, let's say there is a student who is getting about 5 lakhs per annum after completing his bachelor's in India, takes a 50 lakhs loan and goes to the US, and his average annual package is going to be about 80 to 90,000 USD after completing his masters, which is about roughly about 65 lakh rupees. Even after deducting all the taxes, that is about 40 lakh rupees. So this student will definitely take 3 to 5 years to repay this loan back. Which means for the first 5 years he is going to be like, let's say, not in net profit, or you can say net zero. But what after 5 years? He's still gonna be withdrawing 70 to 80 lakhs per annum if we convert in Indian currency. And if this student would not have taken this hefty loan, do you think his salary in India would have gone from 5 lakhs per annum to 80 lakhs per annum over a span of 7 years? The answer is a big no. This is why education is the best investment in today's time. No other market can give you such sort of returns on a 50 lakh rupees. And the similar math is applicable for MBA in India as well. Of course, it won't take your salary from 5 lakhs to 80 lakhs, but definitely someone who is earning 5 lakhs per annum can get about 12 to 15 lakhs per annum by investing 2 years and 10 to 15 lakhs on an MBA. So I hope those who were confused on whether to take such a huge education loan or not are convinced now. But don't get carried away with what I just told. If the maths would have been so simple, then everyone should have been following this $1 million plan. This calculation goes wrong in the following scenarios. Number 1, and the most common, students choosing their country or university solely based on their admission counselor's opinion. Now guys, I don't want to get deeper into it, but all of us know how these admission consultants make money and what could be their intention when they recommend you X university over Y. But please remember that your employability, that is the recovery of the money you have spent, is solely dependent on three factors, that is your country, university and course. So please make sure to research that, what sort of salary was offered to people who graduated from the same course as you are going for. And not just the salary, you also need to know what percentage of people actually got a job. Because even if the average salary is about $100,000, it is of no use if only 50% of the class got a job, right? And another important thing you need to know is how quickly did they get the job. Because sitting idle, sitting jobless in a foreign country for 6 months is not going to be viable for many, from the financial perspective and from the visa perspective. So many students I know who took more than 6 months to find a job after their masters in the foreign country. And some even had to leave the country because they had this specified time limit to find a job and they couldn't find within that period. For example, in US that period is about 90 days. So my intention is not to scare you but to make you aware of the reality. So don't get carried away with just what your friends are telling or what your admission counselor is telling. Make sure to do your own research, because at the end of the day it is you who has to pay this loan back. Now, this is something which is beyond your control. Even if you would have researched the post-study work visa policies of that country properly before deciding to go for education there, the policies might change, affecting your career in that foreign country. Now, this is not something which happens very frequently, and even if it happens, it's generally applied to the upcoming batch of international students instead of the ones who are already there. So, for example, this happened in 2010 in UK. So now this could be one reason in worst case scenario which will make you regret. So now if any of these two things happen, that is, your research going wrong or, country changing the post-study work visa policies, in both these cases, you would regret taking an education loan or investing so much money in general, even if it is your own money. So it is almost like, you invested in a stock which kind of crashed. So whether it is a loan money or your own money, you are going to regret that, right? Be precise with your numbers as in your expected salary, and at the same time have a clear understanding of what you would have to repay, your EMI as well as total repayable. So you can do this entire calculation using our EMI calculator. The link to the same is given above as well as in the description. So many students ignore this point in the beginning, but by the time they realize that their education loan is expensive, it is already too late. Yes, there are many students who take out an education loan without understanding the high cost of money they are receiving. So be careful about two things. So firstly, try to go for a loan with the least interest rate possible. Least interest rate is offered by government banks in India for a secured loan. So if you have a collateral security, you should ideally go with a government bank only. So VMake Scholars team can help you with the entire process of your loan with a government bank without any fee. So to get in touch with our team or to start your loan process, you can click on the link mentioned above. Now, in case you do not have a collateral, so you will have to apply to multiple lenders, multiple banks and NBFCs, because any one of them could be the cheapest, because it varies from case to case. So even in that case, VMake Scholars team will be very helpful, because they would help you in applying to multiple lenders in one go, so that you can get the quotation from all of them at time and compare all of those. One very important thing here is time. Please note that if you leave the loan application very much till the end of your process, or if you're late in the process, you may not have enough time to apply to multiple lenders and compare the quote and get the quote from all of them. So you may end up choosing the expensive option in that rush. So this is something which I always tell students, I'm telling it again. Please don't leave finance arrangement till the end. As soon as you have applied to universities and waiting for admits, that's the perfect time to start your loan process. Coming to the second point in this regard, you must check what type of interest rate is being charged during moratorium, simple or compound. So moratorium period is the period which is your course duration plus 6 months or 1 year, which is given to you for finding job. So this entire period is called as moratorium period or repayment holiday, and your repayment or EMI begins only after this. Yeah. So that is offered in all education loans, which means students do not have to pay EMI while studying. But many students, 90% of these students, are not even in a position to pay their interest during this tenure. And banks allow that as well. So students are happy that banks do not ask them to pay the interest or the entire interest during this period. But what students forget to check is what is happening to the unpaid interest which they are not paying right now. Whether it is accumulating as a simple interest or as a compound interest, which makes a substantial difference in the entire amount to be repaid. Not very significant, but substantial. Yeah. So please note that all the NBFCs in India and all the foreign lenders charge you compound interest during moratorium. And for all the other lenders, that is private banks or government banks, your financial officer will be able to tell you on a case-by-case basis. So please make sure to check the high interest rate or the other loan terms while you are taking it, because if you don't check it at that time, you are going to regret it while repaying. So now there are a few stories of VMake Scholars customers who really regretted after taking their education loan, and these are very much in your control. So let's go to the first story. It comes from a student who took loan via VMake Scholars in 2017. So when you're applying for a loan, for your loan with us, we generally recommend you a minimum loan tenure of 10 years. Yeah, because if you keep the tenure shorter, your EMI will be higher, of course. And but students think that if they go for a higher tenure, they will have to pay interest rate for a longer period, which makes it the total interest higher. So which is of course true, but despite of we telling them multiple times, students ignore this point of pre-closure, which means even if you take your loan for 10 years and you get money in bulk in between, you can close your loan in 5 years also. So you can close your loan anytime and the bank will not charge you anything. So this student didn't listen to us in 2017 and he opted for a loan tenure of 5 years. Now in 2019 when he graduated, he got a job and he wanted to repay this loan, and that's when he realized that his EMI was very high. And when he's paying such an high EMI, he's barely left with any money for his survival. So the student got in touch and we spoke to the bank, and bank wasn't willing to change the loan tenure at this point in time. And even if we convinced the bank to increase the loan tenure, such sort of restructuring in the loan would be reflected in customer's CIBIL profile, affecting his CIBIL score for future loans. So the moral of the story is, please listen to your VMake Scholars financial officer. It will save you from trouble, not just today, but even in future. The second story comes from a student's father whose daughter's education in the US was costing around 40 lakh rupees. So they came to us saying that they require only 20 lakhs of loan and they'll be able to manage the rest. So the collateral they kept for this loan was valued at about 50 lakhs, which means the customer was very much eligible to get 100% loan. But no, they were adamant that they want 20 lakhs only. We tried explaining them that, sir, the processing fee of a loan is same if you go for a 20 lakhs loan or if you go for a 40 lakhs loan. And even the interest you will only have to pay on the amount you use. So please take an approval for 40 lakhs and later use only 20 lakhs if that's what you want to do. And nobody will question you. Banks don't mind if you are using at least 20% of the sanction value, which eventually they were going to use, right? But they didn't agree and they went for 20 lakhs amount. Just 6 months after this, COVID hit and father lost his job. They came back for increase of loan amount, which was definitely possible because their collateral was valued higher and there was a possibility of top up, but the process was very cumbersome. Even it was difficult, not just for us, even for them it was very difficult because daughter was in the US and she had to make a power of attorney and there was lockdown in the US, so the process also was becoming very complicated. So we eventually did it. But what I'm trying to tell you is, when your financial officer is telling you something, try to understand that. Try to evaluate it, what sense does it make. It's not like, if someone is trying, you should not presume like someone is trying to sell you something and you just have to say no. VMake Scholars is funded by Government of India, and whatever we'll be telling you will be in your favor. We are a customer first company and we would think of you first. That was a lot of information and stories for this video. I hope you liked it. Lastly, I would just say that take an education loan or invest such a huge amount on your education only when you feel it is worth it. Going to a third grade university when you know it's not going to lead to a good job, avoid it. If you think a cheaper college is gonna get you a similar sort of salary package, go for the cheaper college. But overall, education is the best investment in today's world, and education loan makes it possible. An education loan also makes you financially independent without stressing your parents. But make sure to evaluate everything carefully so that you don't have to regret in future. So if you appreciate the whole idea of Loanflix and our effort to bring this information out to you, then please subscribe to our channel and hit that bell icon. If you have any questions, put it in the comments below and I'll definitely get back. Please like and share this video with someone who shouldn't regret taking an education loan in future. That's it for now. See you soon.
Don't forget to subscribe and click on the bell icon to never miss any updates from us.